this was like a decade ago. So I see you there. You're somewhere in Manhattan, and we're meeting up like for lunch or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And you go, I got a thing for you, man. I'm like, all right, what is it? And you pull out the first of your microphones,
Yeah.
your VO1A, is that correct?
VO1A, right.
VO1A. So you pull out your mic, so I'm like, ooh, and I take it out, and it's got your signature on it. And I was like, oh, man, like, oh, I want my signature on stuff. Like the mic, it's like that didn't impress me. Nothing, for some reason. Like, I was like, whatever. Like, it's just an MXL. Oh, but his signature, like that. I thought it was cool, man. That's what it takes to impress.
I know.
To
When I
impress
first
me.
brought that out, there was some pushback from people like, oh, well, ego. What was he, just take a felt pen and sign them? And, you just don't respond to that. And several people said, by him putting his signature on it, it means that he stands behind it, and it's a really good product, and it really was developed for voiceover.
Well, that's the
Oh,
thing. I'm fucked. I'd put
well,
my
that's the
signature
truth.
on friggin' everything if I put it out. But I was
Yeah,
in sales before friggin' voiceover, man. I was in sales even when
yeah,
I was like, working my way up and stuff. Which, oh God, man, yeah, real jobs, those sucked. But I would never sell a product that I didn't believe in. I
yeah,
sold electronics and I
yeah.
sold furniture and all kinds of, but I would only, sell, and I get in trouble with my managers and stuff. They say, well, you're supposed to steer them towards that one. Like, that one is junk, man. Like, that's not, because
Yeah.
I have such integrity or whatever. It was just, you didn't want to like take a shower,
Yeah.
when you got
It'd
home,
be
like
icky,
feel
wouldn't it? I
gross.
mean,
But if
how'd
this
you
is
do
like
that?
your thing, man, and your name is literally on the friggin' thing, you got to kind of stand behind it, I guess, because if it sucks and it's got your name like just emblazoned on the front of it,
This
like
could be
that's not
bad,
good.
right?
That is not good. You've sold, I don't know how many you've sold, but a lot of these friggin' microphones because they're cheap. So what happened? It says MXL in the case.
Mhm.
You they came to you, or because
No,
was this was
I,
after the porta booth, so which we'll get into. So you've already done some stuff, and then you said I want to make a microphone, and then how does that even become a thing?
well, first of all, that's the after. How do I get an agent? The next question is, what microphone should I buy?
Sure.
And as you know, I mean, I just started, I've got other mics that I bought and I like and everything, but I kept thinking, yeah, it's not really a voice-over mic per se. And microphone companies, oh, it sounds great on piano and bass drum and voices and singing, and everything's aimed at singers and musicians. And I thought, I've got a couple ideas. I want to soften, I don't get too technical because I'm not, but I want to soften the polar pattern so we have less proximity effect. It'd be much kinder to a female voice and people with any kind of sibilance. I want, even though it's a Chinese mic, and I'd had some MXL mics when they first started, and they were fairly cheap and not special. But I want this thing with the best JFETs, best transistors you can buy, the best wiring. I want it to be a complete pack. I want it to come with a shock mount and a mic cable so they can use the damn thing. So I went to a couple of pretty well-known mic people, and I'm recognizing this because you had a really good product idea, and you and I kind of worked on that together to a
I
degree.
still got that in the back pocket. It's going to come
Yeah.
back.
And the thing, is I was telling you when we were working on it, and you saw it too, the minimum order quantity is what kills you. Oh yeah, they make anything you want, but we need to make 50,000 of them. What? Well, I won't live that long. What are you talking about? So I talked is interesting. I won't say who, but
Yeah.
three
So that's the thing.
companies.
You got this, and then you got to have a storehouse full of these things, and then if they
Right.
don't sell, plus you got to put the money out. And then
Then
if
you go
you've got this
bankrupt.
thing, and
Yeah.
nobody buys it, then that's
Exactly.
it's the
Yeah.
end.
So when I talked to MXL and Jeff Fisher, again, my co-author, knew some people there, and I talked to a guy named Roy, and he was great. And the other three people said, Harlan, we can do whatever you want. Take a look at our mics, and we'll put any brand you want on it. But your minimum order quantity is going to be like 5,000 or something. Well, that wasn't what I was looking for, Eric. I was like, no, I want to do something that's different, that's really good quality. And they were looking to get their brand to get, a better stance than, oh, it's a cheap Chinese mic. So they came back with the design, and I love the sound of the thing. We kept it at a really rational price. People really do like it. And, the first run was like 70. So that was really kind to me. And now I order a couple hundred, but I don't have to order thousands of them. And they've been really, really great. I mean, just stand up, 3-year warranty. Nobody does that. And
how
it's a
come
great mic.
the no proximity effect thing or the lessened proximity? Why was that on your wish list? Because you seem like a close talker, kind of. You know, you've got that quiet, you know, sexy kind of whatever, whispery, you know, kind of thing. So it's interesting that was, you know, a big deal for you.
Sexy. He said sexy. Yeah.
You can't say sex on the
But
internet.
but what can happen, particularly with what can happen with females and less, and I also was thinking now home studio. This means, I don't mean this condescendingly, but a tremendous number of people working in the voiceover field have never been in a recording studio, ever.
Sure.
And maybe probably won't. Everything I know about working a microphone, I learned from engineers. You know, they come in and say, hey, Har, you want to, okay, that's a ships. You got to be really careful. It's very sensitive. Come back about here and get slightly over there. They don't have that. I have people who would still do contact me. They say, I don't know, do I talk into the end of this thing or where do I talk into it? Well, on the side. Everybody knows that. Well, not everybody knows that. You know, somebody send me a sample and they've talked into the top of a cardioid microphone.
Wow.
Because they think
but like you said, you didn't have to be a freaking genius. You could be a bumbling imbecile if you were going in because all that stuff was done for you. You didn't have to know how to twiddle a knob or whatever.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah. So the proximity effect, if you know how to work it, which means adding, you know, more of a bass, a fuller sound by getting closer, it's fine. But if you haven't had that technique, it's a terrible thing because it gets very muddy or you're popping the mic. And females, I find, generally speaking, but generally, proximity effect doesn't work well. Their voices start to sound very muddy. So we didn't do a lot, but just softened it a little bit. So it's not as sensitive to that. And then we got Mogami wiring inside. Mogami wiring is the most expensive wiring you can find.
Dude, I've gone on this channel. I've talked about Mogami Gold cables before, and I don't care. Whatever, they could be $1 million a foot. I'll buy them. I love them. Yeah, absolutely love them.
It's the best. Even the little wiring inside a mic, you know, it totally is. And people ignore that. They buy, you know, a nice mic and they spend $300, and then they find out a good cable is going to cost them $100 and something. So they used to go down to Radio Shack and buy something, and now the mic sounds like crap.
Well, you know what it is. Especially back in the day.
So you're doing that too.
People were figuring this out,
and it's happened.
What happened to me too? But where, you know, everything was fine, and then all of a sudden there's a hiss or a buzz, and you're going crazy, and you're pulling shit out, and you're whatever, and it was a cable. You know, it was a crappy cable, so it's not worth it. And especially back in the day, you know, again, it wasn't you plugged into a freaking, you know, a little Scarlett or whatever. You had racks of stuff, man. You know, all your compressors and all your stuff and whatever. So you got cables all over the damn place. And if one of them was crappy, and now you got to try to track down, you know, which one is, you know, not shielded properly or whatever. So there, you know, there's a problem with it. Yeah, man. So sorry to sabotage your thing here by like a commercial from Mogami, but man, they're awesome.
No. And Mogami is owned by Marshall Electronics, which is MXL.
Oh, so it's so that's how you got the Mogami.
Exactly. And I could say, I want this. I don't want high pass, low pass filter switches because the people buying this don't know what they are, and they can do that in software later. And you kept it simple. And it's been a good decision. And it's really the only mic that is called the voiceover microphone. So that's why I did it.